Hello, everybody. Welcome to Vibe Time with Geri. We all know what today is. It's the third Tuesday of the month, and we always have John Stevens coming on board. Got my co-host David Flowers and the infamous John Stevens, founder of Virginia Paranormal Events. How are you doing?
Great. It's been like, I don't know how the months only have like 4 weeks, but it seems like it's been 6 weeks since I've been on the show.
I know. And sometimes it doesn't even, well, it just seems to me that time flies by so
Yep.
quickly. So, how have you been
Doing good.
since the last 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, there's been a lot that's happened and a lot that's coming up, and not all around Halloween. That's the amazing thing is nothing's going on next weekend because of the, I say next weekend, I meant like on Halloween, but on Saturday night, there's a ton of things happening. So the first, and so that's just the way it is this time of year. Some places are doing their yearly ghost tours, and some places are not.
Hello.
But yeah, it's November and December are starting to fill up, and a lot of things in November coming up. So, but
That's surprising, though, because you would think that some creepy things would be occurring on Halloween.
yeah, I mean, Halloween has become a national holiday. I'm sorry, but they just need to give us that day off. People have, like at my work, I don't even know why they're showing up because they have a where you can bring your kids in to get candy. And they
Right.
start that at like noon, and they parade them through all afternoon. Now, I'm not at the office, but there are a lot of people that will go into the office. And guess what? They don't have to work. They just go and get their kids and bring them in and go around and get candy all afternoon. And those of us that work from home and or don't have kids, we got to work.
Right.
So it doesn't make any sense. But it's and everybody takes off. There's so many people off on Friday. I'm like, you know what? That's good this year because it's on a Friday. So if the weather's bad on Friday night, they'll just have it Saturday or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, the one good thing too is like for us this year, it's not following. Oh my God, falling on Oyster Fest weekend
Right.
because most of the time with us, they're setting up RVs, and that's a little bit hazardous to the kids that are out there. When
Yeah.
they're trying to set up. So
This is what this is that year where it goes all the way to the. Somebody's asking me. It's like the first Saturday in November. I said nope.
nope.
It's the first full weekend in November.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm looking forward to the Oyster Festival as well. I say I don't know if I'll go next year. I say that every year, but it just comes around. I have such a good time walking around, but it's the same thing.
Asshole.
So,
Hey, Dennis.
we but there's a lot of things happening around Virginia. I wanted to tell y'all something. My daughter works at a restaurant as her second job, and so I go in there sometimes to have dinner. I might sit at the bar where she's at, and have dinner. And
Hey, Dennis.
the funny thing is I enjoy it because I end up talking to people that are beside me or something like that. Well, that night this was not last weekend, weekend before last. I'm sitting there at the bar, and I've had a salad and stuff like that. You know, I've eaten, and there were two girls that came and sat at the bar right next to me, and they are one of the girls goes, "Oh my God, it was so haunted." I mean, I know what I saw, you know, and I can't tell you that I'm a psychic or anything, but I saw what I saw. It was a ghost. And of course, I'm like, really? Tell me more. You know, I just kind of inserted myself into the conversation, which opened her up to just tell me all this whole ghost story. I said, you know, the cool thing is everybody's got a ghost story. And I pointed to the other girl. I said, what's your ghost story? And so she started telling me about seeing her grandmother at a young age or something like that. And I was like, I bet you if I went to everybody at this bar, they'd all have ghost stories. And I said, let me show you something. And I pull up my page and I showed them the picture. And they were like, well, let me see that thing again. You know, they're holding it up. They're like, oh my God. And I had to tell them the whole story of what happened. And she goes, so I said, yes, I go paranormal investigating. And it was like, they just opened up at that point. It was question after question after question. They got there at 7. We closed the place down. There was another couple that came in that got involved in the conversation. Of course, I'm promoting my page as well because finally I finally got around to that. That was not the intention. Towards the end of the night, I was like, hey, if y'all are interested in doing things, follow my events page. You will get all the local places. Well, where's a place where we can go? I said, a perfect place, not too far from here. It's called the Cabin on 360. I said, Dennis Eslock runs it. We've got events all the time there. You will have a great time, and the price is good. So, along with some other places I told them about, other investigations that we had done, things like that. They started asking me like, where have I been? You know, what places I have investigated and all that stuff. What did I find? And I said, oh, if you ever go down to Williamsburg, you want to check out the Powhatan Plantation. And there's a place called the Manor House that sits right in the center of the property. And you can go down there and take a ghost tour and learn about paranormal investigating. And also, they will let you investigate afterwards. And so one thing led to another. They all joined my page. We all talked all night about ghosts. And then I closed the place down and left. But it was amazing that I just kind of was listening to them talk about ghosts. And all I had to say was, well, everybody's got a ghost story. What's yours? You know, and then it was just opening it up. Because people can't wait to tell you theirs. But then when I started showing them evidence off my phone and letting them hear stuff and EVPs and stuff like that, they were like,
hey, Paul.
They were going nuts. So,
and your daughter was probably sitting back just shaking her head.
She, you know, and she's been to the Manor House with the last time she was probably 10 years ago when she came.
But your family is going back in November, right? According to Donna.
Yes, but we won't be there. We're there during the middle of the week. We're not there on the weekend.
I gotcha.
So,
what part of the middle of the week?
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Damn it.
Yep. And so because I was like, well, if we had our first choice was to do, believe it or not, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. But that was actually, we weren't able to get that. We were able to get the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Gotcha.
it's really hard to get the weekend, like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that type of deal. So anyway, it's our yearly trip to Williamsburg with my family, and but the good news is that Friday morning I get up and I go to the Oyster Festival.
Yeah.
So
I'll be working at the museum.
And it doesn't seem like it was that long ago that I was there visiting you at the museum, at the Oyster Festival.
I know.
Seems like some things, it seems like it's a long time ago, and then I bring up like that, and it just seems like it wasn't. It was fairly recent. So,
well,
but it's. Kind of being open to talk about that kind of thing,
right?
And also, if you just let people talk, they'll tell you their stories. The thing is everybody starts off, like this. Like one of the ladies was saying, "Well, I've never done anything like this," and I said, "Everybody." I mean, there are no experts in this field. Everybody discovers things for the very first time every time they go, and
right.
you can start off with a ghost tour and go do a ghost tour and hear ghost stories, and then graduate to an investigation where you're there in a historical location maybe for 6 or 7 hours and really experience what I call the slowness of the night, where you sit in the dark. You sit in the dark in a cold, dank place. As I told the people at work, they're like, "What's it like?" And I said, "Well, you're in a cold, dank place, much like my second marriage. That type of thing."
Only John Stevens.
But everywhere in this area in Virginia, we're really lucky to have a lot of haunted places. I'll just say that. And I'm surprised that there aren't more places that are open to allowing investigations. I recently toured a plantation along the James River out Route 5 near Berkeley and Shirley.
Which one was that?
Westover.
Okay.
And very old historic. Now, the cool thing is
I don't think I've been there.
Beautiful home. It's privately owned, but they don't know much about the history of the place.
They don't do tours?
They do tours, but not on a regular basis. And
I gotcha.
They will just post like a day before, and they'll say, "Hey, we're doing tours tomorrow." And you show up with money, and the owner of the house will give you a personal tour of the downstairs. And it's set up to be a normal house. So there's a lot of antiques, don't get me wrong, but there's nothing. I think there's only one item in the house that was original.
Right. That's interesting.
To the family. Now, the house itself has a lot of age to it. I mean, it's built in the 1700s. It is really just, I'm sure. But what was coming. Somebody had to ask about ghosts. And she smiled and she said, "I personally have never experienced anything. I personally don't believe that this place is haunted. However, there is a lot of stories, and people have told me stories.
Hey, Gene.
And people have shared their stories. and it's a lot of the ones where you're like she had a I don't know if it was like a heating and air conditioning person there to fix something, and she wasn't there. And she got there, and she said the guy called her and said, "I didn't mean to. I thought I was the only one in the house alone. I didn't mean to barge into that room and catch her daughter in her bedroom, right? You know, at the in front of the vanity or whatever." And she goes, "My, I don't have a daughter, and there's nobody else in the house." And he goes, "Oh no, I swear, I just saw her. She was in there." And she goes, "Can you describe her?" And he did. He described the hair and all that stuff and what she was wearing. And then when she got home, she told the guy, "There's nobody. What you've seen is an apparition of a person that a lot of people have seen." And he said he would never be back. And he was totally freaked out because he saw what he considered a real person upstairs. That is not the only story like that. There are many. She was just on and on and on about those kind of stories, but yet somehow she's never experienced anything. Her and her husband have never
Makes you wonder.
anything.
Makes you wonder why. Like, do they tune it out? You know, it makes you wonder because they live there all the time.
Yeah, maybe so.
Why
I mean, and it's not going to be the kind that it's going to be terrifying. It would be, to me, you think you would just open a door and somebody be standing there that you knew was a ghost, right? Well, it's not going to be. It's not going to happen like that. It's going to be more like, what was that knocking sound I heard downstairs? Well, what are those footsteps coming down the hallway? You know, those types of experiences.
All right.
Yeah, well, maybe they're such non-believers that something did happen, and they say, "Well, it's not that; it's a floor creaking or whatever."
That's right, and a lot. You know, we know those kind of things do exist, and you can't sometimes tell the difference between something that might be paranormal and something just old age house settling. I guarantee you, though, that if you did EVPs in there and had sessions and you played it back for them, they'd be shocked. But they're never going to allow ghost hunting in their home. Because somebody even asked that. She said, "No, I just don't want to bring that. She goes, this is my sanctuary. This is my home. I don't want people ghost hunting in my home." You know, she just felt like it was
understandable. I mean, very understandable.
We always think, yeah, it might be your home, but it's also everybody else's home because it's history. You know, it's famous people live there, right? So the good thing is about like Berkeley is the Jamesons don't live in that house, so nobody lives in the Berkeley plantation. House. They did in the 80s, but after Ms. Jameson died, no one's lived in the house since. So it's literally a museum. But guess what? Miss Jameson is haunting the place to this day. She makes it known to the docents that have to take care of the house, what's going on. And they recently published somebody did an article and went in and interviewed the people at Berkeley that worked there, and they told some of their favorite stories. And there are new ones all the time. and some of their favorite ones they told. So it was really cool to read some of those. But
Yeah, the other night at the manor house, we had a family that they really enjoyed it, and after we left, they were walking around, and they heard a knocking at the basement door.
mm,
It was the basement door, wasn't it, Jerry?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was the basement door. They sent me an email and said, "Were y'all in there?" I said, "No, we were gone."
wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, unfortunately, some places that need to be open, at least during this time of year, aren't. Roswell is another one that's not going to do any ghost hunts, or
They're not even so much
or
as doing a
tours.
tour, correct?
Nope. And I emailed them several times in the last 2 months. Finally, the guy got back with me, or somebody from the Fairfield group that owns it or runs it now, and they said no, we won't be doing ghost tours this year, which I can't understand because I don't think they make much money, but they make a lot of money when they do those ghost tours,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because each night they would run 2 tours, and they did them four nights, I think, altogether.
$10 a pop.
I mean, they were probably making a few thousand, close to it,
Yeah.
you know. Um,
But that's what happens sometimes when historical societies get a hold of stuff. They don't let you do any damn thing.
yeah,
Nothing. Same thing with the oldest house in Middlesex. They don't want nothing in there. And I'm just like, oh my God. And has it been because other investigators that were unprofessional has messed it up? I mean, it's just you have to ask. I get some people don't want the stuff, but you have to ask why sometimes. It's like, why not? But yeah. Or then you get some people that are in charge in it that don't believe in the paranormal at all.
hey Chris.
yeah. I mean, it's like really.
God.
I was trying to think of the other place that was saying no to ghost tours this year that normally has them. Um, Gosh, it was someplace else, but you know, I did find out that
Hey, Chris.
that West Point is doing a ghost tour. The
West
night,
Point. Our West Point?
uh-huh.
When?
The night before Halloween, so the 30th, that Thursday,
Oh,
and they've got three. I think it's five. I think it might be four different tours. Three,
oh shit,
5:30,
I'm off that night.
5:30, 6:30, 7:30, and 8:30. And the link you can find on my page. But they, I don't know if it costs anything. You
I
have to
know
make a
before they
reservation
wasn't
though.
charging.
But it says that it's put on by a Reverend Fowler or something like that, and I think he's with one of the churches. And it says on there, this is not for young kids.
If it's what I think, they dressed up in costume. They dressed up in costume and they kind of went around West Point and they kind of told you, just the different history parts of it. But they were dressed in costume. It was actually a lot of fun. I had a good time. Me and my girlfriend Marjorie went to it. But I'm glad that they're doing that again. And you had to go sign up at the library. Tickets were free. They didn't charge anything. And then they had like snacks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if
Here it is. Ghosts of West Point walking tour. Tour leaves from the West Point branch. 5:30, 6:30, and 7:30. This is 1 hour tour. may be too spooky for little ones. Children under 12 must be accompanied by an adult. Please bring a flashlight and wear comfortable shoes. Tours end at the WP Historic Society. I'm going to take a picture of that because I might just have to go to that. It's right. It's less than an hour from my house. It's 20 minutes.
Well, you know, I didn't know what to expect, so I'll probably do it. I think you have to call and and put your name down. It says something like that, so I don't know if they charge.
See that on there.
Let's see.
Oh, here we go. Please call to register to reserve your spot on the Ghosts of West Point walking tour, October 30th.
So
you got to call.
Where's the West Point branch?
I think it's the West Point Library, and it's off of Main Street, 433. I want to say it's at the library. Yeah, it is. It's at King William. Well, it's at the library. I remember that we all met there at the library. But I mean, it was pretty popular, and like I said, I had a good time. Me and my girlfriend Marjorie went. We had a blast.
Yeah, I'm going to probably go.
Yeah, I think I'll go at the 7. I think I'm going to go to the 7:30 one.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, I'll call tomorrow.
Because at 7:30 it'll be dark.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
glad you said something.
Yeah, there's a lot of things like actually Friday night is Paul Shields and Culpepper Paranormal are going to be doing the Graffiti House.
I bet that's going to be fun.
It's a Halloween thing that they open up free to the public.
Nice.
They show evidence. They have ghost stories. I mean, I'm talking about real ghost stories. And they give candy away and stuff. And they always have a lot of good turnout of people that come and see what's going on. And of course, anytime you can go and hang with those people at the Graffiti House is even better. That's the last time I did that was about 3 or 4 years ago. And I had one of those paranormal experiences where I was standing in the hallway with my back. And it was kind of tight in there because we had a lot of people in that room. And Paul was talking. And I was kind of in the back, but I was halfway. I was in a doorway, and there was nobody behind me. There's a hallway behind me. And all of a sudden, it felt like somebody punched me in my back.
Oh.
Like I turned around thinking it was somebody trying to get by me to get it back into the room, and there was nobody there. And it was a clear, like, fingers or fist right into the middle of my back. That nudged me to kind of like, oh, I'm sorry, and I turned around and kind of I thought it was somebody trying to get through, and there was nobody there. So that was interesting, and that's a pretty cool place as well. Even if you just tour it during the day, it's the graffiti in that place is unbelievable. It's a national treasure. It really is. How they found that place. If you ever look at the pictures of it from the 70s, it was falling down. The whole place was falling down. And to look at it now, it's like, how did you end up with this? I mean, it looked like a heap of wood, a pile of wood where the house had caved in. And because that happened, the plaster pulled off away from the walls, where the covering pulled away from the walls, and revealed that plaster that had been hiding all that graffiti for all these years. It had also protected it from the rain and the elements, because it was like a tree had fallen on the house and the roof had caved in, and there was, every time it rained and snowed, it was just filling the house up. Could have destroyed it all, but actually, at some point, somebody had plastered the walls and done all this stuff and covered it all up, and that ended up being really a good thing because it protected it. So when they went in there and kind of basically put a new roof on and redid the flooring, and they discovered that what was behind those walls, and they really made sure that they were going to not just destroy it, but to kind of bring it back to life. Other thing, like this Saturday night at Bacon's Castle, they're continuing with their ghost tours. That's a really good ghost tour as well. They will not only tell you about the stories that they've experienced, because the people that are leading it, there's a paranormal investigator that leads it, and then there's also a lady that works there, still works there, and she tells the stories of what she's experienced. But they also share stories out of a book. So if you ever experience anything there and you send it in, or you have a chance to write it in, they keep this diary of experiences that people have had in the house, and you can go back and read all that. Another cool place, I don't know that they've done this in the past, is Blandford Cemetery out in Petersburg. Blandford Cemetery and the church there is where they have the Tiffany glass. So that's another national treasure. If you've ever been to Petersburg and gone to Blandford, it's right on the Petersburg National Battlefield. It's a cemetery. Not only got Civil War dead, but it's just got people that from Petersburg. The old church, old Episcopal church, they Tiffany put in all these windows. Each one of them was purchased by a southern state. So each southern state donated money to have a window, and he designed it, came up with it, and they have survived all these years. And they were afraid that during, like 4 or 5 years ago, when there was an element of our society that decided it was going to go around and try to destroy everything historical, there were people actually guarding that place with guns. They were not going to allow people to destroy that church and the windows and all that stuff. Thank goodness that has been protected. But we have a lot of events, like I said, coming up, and I can quickly go over them. On the 1st of November, like I said, the day after Halloween, Flumeri is doing the jail and museum at Chesterfield Courthouse, the old jail and museum. And then also on the 1st of November, a really cool thing that they're doing out at Sailors Creek Battlefield on the way to Farmville. And I guess I guess that's Crew or maybe Burkeville. I don't know. It's on the way to Farmville. It's not too far from Farmville. Sailors Creek, very important battle fought during the last week of the Civil War. And I went to a reenactment there this summer. There's a historical house on the property that has where they use as a hospital, and you can go in there today and see the blood stains on the floors still there. It's even better when you go into the cellar and look up through the floors. You can see it with a black light
Oh, wow.
where the blood had pooled and came down through the cracks into the cellar. That house, I felt something when I was there during the middle of the day, and I know that that place has got something going on there. But they're actually Brad Bradley and his group with CPRI are going to be leading that free event out at Sailors Creek at night, telling their stories of what they have captured, because they go in and set up all this equipment and spend all night capturing stuff, and then they get to go and share what that is. Now, this was supposed to have happened back about 2 or 3 weeks ago, but when we had all that rain, they canceled it and put it on for the 1st of November as the makeup date. Also, November 1st is going to be a 4-location paranormal event put on by Transcend, Hanover Courthouse, Pole Green Church, the jail, and I can't remember what else, maybe the courthouse. But that is Pole Green Church is out off of Pole Green, sits between Pole Green Road. It's not too far from the cabin on 360.
Nope.
Pole Green Church is a pretty cool place.
Yeah.
I drove by there the other day, and there was a wedding going on out there. They show you where the church was. Patrick Henry went to church there, and it's right on a battlefield. It wasn't a battlefield when Patrick Henry was going there, but it was. It's still very historical, and you know what? They allow Transcend, who's done Pole Green Church several times in the past, to go there and do investigations. So that's great. Another event, and this is odd, is it's going to be on Sunday the 2nd out at Swannanoa. And I have to check because there were very few tickets left for that event. Swannanoa is a dually mansion up in near Charlottesville.
Nice.
And it is a beautiful old place that they're redoing. They do a lot of weddings and things like that.
What's the name of it?
Swannanoa. And our friend to the program, Dr. Don, is going to be there with I can't remember the name of the paranormal group that's going to be up there with him. But they always, this is going to be a fundraiser for Swannanoa, who's trying to bring the old house to glory. Now, what they've done is amazing. It's beautiful. And so all the events that they have there, people always say, where's that at? Can we go? And then people find out where it's at, and then they trespass. And they literally will arrest you. I mean, they are like, the police are like, staking that place out. They know that when somebody's there and not supposed to be there. It's sort of like that Roswell incident where there's people jump that stuff happens there all the time, and they arrest you, man. They just run. They take your car and everything.
Oh goodness.
Flag fundraiser on the 8th for the raise money for the flags. The money for you pay for the investigations, money going to flags. 700 flags to be purchased to be put out at was it East End Cemetery or Evergreen?
Yeah.
Get them mixed up.
It's Evergreen and Woodland, isn't it?
Yeah, Woodland.
Okay. That is the 8th of November, and so I don't know what day Veterans Day is. Is that
the 11th?
Okay.
Tuesday.
And then also there's going to be a lockdown at the Belgrove Plantation in King George with Fredericksburg Paranormal. And that's on the 15th and 16th. Also on the 15th, Toys for Tots out at the Cabin on 360 to raise money for to give to the Marines. Hopefully there'll be a Marine there. And you can, in the past, you could bring a gift as a form of payment. But you can pay and bring a gift if you want. So the 22nd of November, right before Thanksgiving, is Pamplin Park. Mm-hmm. So Pamplin Park doing another their fall event there, and that looks like it's going to be. They had a great turnout for the last one, really good.
Yeah, and Chris Banchero said that there's something going on. Voices from Shadows at Pamplin with Edgar Allan Poe this coming weekend. 2 tours, Friday night and Saturday night.
That's right. That's right. I meant to post that. And then also, as we get into December, Dunlore, Haunted Night's going to be out at Dunlore in Mineral, Virginia. That's near Louisa on the 6th of December. Also at the 6th of December, investigation out at Trinity Church in Chesterfield. That's right next to all the other. It's right next to the jail, right next to the museum there at Chesterfield County Complex. Trinity Church, obviously it was a church. It's part of their historical society now, and I've investigated in there before. It is a creepy place. I got really scared in that place because they said go down that hallway and it was completely black and pitch black, and I was like,
so it has to be a lot for you because you normally don't say stuff like that.
I'm scared all the time. And then
Donna isn't.
the 13th of December, St. Albans with TWC, and so that's going to probably be the last event of the year that we know of. But St. Albans in December is a kind of a getting to be a thing. And last year they did one in February, so they did December and they came back in February. So 2 very cold months. I think I'd rather. I've done both. I've been in St. Albans during the heat of the summer, and I've done it in the winter. And you would think both of them are bad. I'll just tell you that. However, I think the winter didn't bother me as much as the heat did. I mean, the heat, It was like it felt like it was in the 90s up in the top. And I was just overheated and sweating and everything else. The other time it was in the winter, but it was like 30 degrees. So I don't know whether you're going to be just freezing cold or miserably hot in that place because they have no air or no heat. They don't have any electricity. So it's that type of place, but it's very active. That was all the events I had. So we made it through. There were some events that have taken place since the last time we got together. Sage Paracon out at Belle Grove. They had a good turnout for that. Fredericksburg Paranormal was there. Kim Sage was a speaker there. Rhonda Harris was there. Trying to think who else. That's just some of the ones. They had Fleetwood Paracon. Dr. Don was that speaker there. So I saw pictures from that.
Nice.
And then also we had TWC out at the Cabin on 360 3 weeks ago. That was a fun event. A lot of people Friday and Saturday night showed up for that.
Yeah,
Friday night had about, I don't know if it was 40 on Friday night and 60 on Saturday, or if it was something like maybe 25 on Friday night and 50 on Saturday. I don't know. It was almost twice the size on Saturday as it was on Friday. Mm-hmm. Friday was a good crowd. Saturday, It was standing room only. I mean,
Nice.
it was cool. So
Rodney Duke said that my Boy Scout troop used to use that church in the 80s and it was creepy at night.
yeah.
Creepy.
So do y'all have anything going on, or just the
Normal tours.
y'all
just,
had Forgotten Explorations a couple
Yeah.
Fridays ago? How'd that
Yeah.
go?
It went pretty good.
We got quite a few stuff
Yeah.
there. We got that introductory when Austin, we all introduced ourselves, and then at the very end you hear this me, or was it just me?
Yeah, and
Remember
me.
that? And me. So we got that on.
And that didn't come through the ghost box or anything.
No, that was disembodied.
So it's just captured on a recorder.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody heard it. It was just play it back and then you hear it, type of thing.
Yeah, it wasn't like the Friday before when they were out there when we kept using that playback trying to figure out.
I remember that video. Yeah.
So, and then no, we did have an incident happen because Saturday with that, I went to go download the video, the body camera because of the incident.
Yeah.
I felt that David needed it. And just in case something came back to bite us in the ass, I have it on video. And David noticed that there were some. What was it? It was 1, 2.
Yeah, it recorded. You know how the body cam recorded in 10-minute sections, right?
Yeah.
Well, the files were numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Mm-hmm.
But when I went to download, 1, 2, 6, 7, and 8 were there. 3, 4, and 5 were missing.
Mm-hmm. And it just happened to be the EVP sessions from Eliza's room and the roundtable room that I really wanted to listen to because there was stuff on there. Like clear, it was 2 clear-cut EVP sessions. And I told David, I said, I'll go back and listen. Well, I couldn't go back and listen because they were gone.
Mm.
And it picked back up right after the EVP session in the roundtable room. As soon as he was done with that, the camera picked right back up. My body camera has never lost time like that, ever.
Yeah, and what makes it just really strange is that the files are missing. It's not that they're blank, they're missing.
Yeah, they're missing.
It's
and
like,
I didn't.
Like somebody went in and deleted 3 files.
Right. And you have to, you know how it goes with your body camera. You have to plug it in and you have to click on those files and delete them. I mean, they were gone like nothing. And like I said, I really wanted to listen to those EVPs because the guests wanted to find out what we had. And I was like, well, we can't do that now because they're gone. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's just interesting there because it's almost like that's with the disembodied voices, it's almost like they're starting to talk out loud now, without an SB7 box. And it's very interesting. I don't know if anybody else is getting that at their locations, but I think it's cool.
I think you're just getting a lot of opportunity that you kind of like learn from how things have just kind of happened, and now you are kind of open to it being possible to hear that sort of stuff. Like if I told you for years that the only way you're going to hear anything is through an SB7,
right?
You would just keep going back to that, but then you start realizing, hey, there's other things I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna cut the SB7 off and listen, and then you start hearing things. You just kind of learn
to listen, you hear it,
to do other things. Your ears can hear things, right?
Be quiet. I I record every tour that we do. Every single one of them have been recorded. It's going to be my 5th season, and every single one of the tours are on a backup, just, because you never know what happens. And I'm sure that there is a lot of evidence on my backup that I haven't even captured or that I haven't even reviewed, because I can't possibly. In the beginning it was easy, but then your life gets busy, and then you next thing you know, it's another day of the manor house. I'm like, oh shit, I got to download this so that they don't pile up on each other. I mean, so, but I don't even delete the ones that nothing happens, because how do we know? Unless we really go back in and review every single one of those to say nothing really happened, because just because the equipment didn't go off, it doesn't mean stuff. I mean, the one night, I forgot which night it was, but it was recently. I just was reviewing stuff. I wanted to specifically review the body camera footage from the poster that we have up to the landing, because there's a shadow figure up there, and it stands up there, and as soon as you see it and it sees you, it runs up the stairs real quick, or it just dissipates right in front of you. Well, I want to catch it. So I was just sitting there reviewing it, and the whole thing blipped out on my body camera as if somebody walked in front of it. It just blipped it out. So there was a shadow figure that moved from, one side to the other. And had I not went back and looked at that, we would have never got it. So it's little things like that. Because when the tours are done, when the tours are finished, I'll clip it up on that poster at the end and watch it. Just put my body camera up there. So
It's just like when I was talking to those ladies, I was telling them about basically how to investigate. Okay. And they thought that they had to, but they didn't even get into the part about having equipment. I said, you'll know when it becomes a little bit more than a hobby, when you start investing in equipment.
Right.
Then it becomes like my friend who's a big time golfer. He's always got to have the newest driver and the newest putter.
Yeah.
And he's got 100 of them. And it's like that with anything that you just get involved with, you just start buying the equipment.
And we can relate. They had a nice digital K2 meter on Amazon, and I had never seen one like that before. So yes, I spent $21 and bought it.
Well,
and then Flowers was like, we really can't use this on the tour because nobody can see it if it lights up. And I was like, fuck. So then he ended up having to create. He's starting to make K2 meter holders because I want to be able to use it. It's really cool looking. And I'm like, I really like this one a lot better than the ones with the little things on the top. I like this digital one. It's cool. You have to admit it is awesome looking.
Yeah.
But they didn't have them on Amazon before. They're new. And I like it.
Well, there are a lot of these companies that want to make ghost equipment or any type of thing like that. And this is not a knock on them. But they can, we went through this with all these phone apps.
Yeah.
Where all these companies realized they had no idea that they had no interest in ghost hunting. They just wanted to make a buck. So they made a phone app that just copied or did what the other apps were doing. And it's the same thing with a lot of that equipment. There have been some cool things that people have come up with, unique ways. Like when a REM pod first came out, it's a pretty cool piece of equipment. Now you've got all kinds of forms of those.
Yes.
or
Yeah.
the tripwire.
Yeah.
They'll turn anything into a red pod nowadays.
Yes. And but those are all just different. The concept of energy making things light up in some form or fashion, all of those become usable.
Right. I don't know. I've got a graveyard of equipment downstairs. My grid's down there. My pole that I got from Robert Murphy that I got from him is sitting down there. I've got my little radio. That's an SB7 box sitting right over in one other spot. Everything is down in a graveyard. I feel like having a equipment sale.
The thing is you may if you had a place to investigate that was large enough and you were going to be there all night, you may bring all of that stuff back out and put it to use.
Yeah.
But when you have to pick and choose, you're going to pick your favorite stuff.
Yeah. My favorite is a body camera, and we always go back to it. We can't help it because we've caught so much evidence on that thing. You know, you clip and go and you forget about it. Whereas, you know, you're sitting there and you're watching equipment, or like David's doing the tour. So he's focused on the tour. You know, we're focused on people, and we're not, you can't get relaxed enough to pick up what else is around. I don't know if I'm making sense, but you can't. You're focusing on stuff, and with the body camera, you're not. It's clip and go. You forget about it.
Like I mean, when I was out at St. Albans, and that's such a large place, you go with a guy like Paul Shields, who's got thousands of dollars worth of equipment, and he set it all out. But he's got it all over the place, like different rooms, different hallways. And he had everything from cameras to video equipment to REM pods, all kinds of things. I mean, he had it all wired, and it took forever for him to put it all and get it all set up. You could only do that at a place like that, and he would not have been able to do that unless we had the run of the place as well. It was 6 or 8 of us investigating that whole big building. So we weren't on top of each other. We weren't, you know, he stayed on that one floor for a long time because he had spent so much time setting up his equipment, and he wanted to make sure that he got what he could out of that. And even when we went to, you know, go on break or something like that, he's still monitoring stuff, you know, while he's maybe not be in that room or whatever. So that's kind of cool stuff there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back out this fall and doing some things and going some places. And it's probably going to start this weekend and next weekend, and hopefully go through the beginning of the year. And a lot of events coming up. It's going to get
cold.
Well, you know, you're always welcome out the Manor House.
Yep. I appreciate that.
You.
Yeah, where did you run into her at?
I ran into her going shopping at Food Lion. I was
going to say, I bet you it was Food Lion.
There's my little Donna, and we started talking. She's like, "Yeah, the family's going to be out. We'll make sure to pay for the tour." And I didn't know when y'all were coming out, and so I was like, "Sure, please come out." And now I know it's middle of the week, so you might have to burst our bubble.
I told her.
Okay.
Yeah, because that was my idea, that if we're going to go down there and it's on a Saturday night or Monday night, let's do the ghost tour. Well, Jan she doesn't get into it as much as I do or Donna does. So, but I told them, I said, you know, well, we won't be able to do the Manor House tour.
Yeah, it's too bad that we're not there on a Wednesday.
Right.
Hope you guys, it's 9 o'clock. We appreciate everybody tuning in. We got Psychic Roundtable, everybody's favorite, next week with Rachel Bradley, Joshua Ford, and Stephanie from Virginia Beach. So you never know what topics we're going to talk about. I'm looking up TikTok topics about demons again, so it might be that discussion. We'll have to wait and see.
Wow.
So y'all have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. If anybody has any events, please put them on the Virginia Paranormal Events page. That's John Stevens' page, Facebook. And y'all have a great night.
Have a great
Good
Halloween.
night, everybody.
Thank
See ya.
you.